I found this buried in the dirt under an old house in Auckland, New Zealand. I have not been able to identify it. It was very rusty, it's made of iron, and appears to have been cast. And the marker pen for size reference. Any ideas? It's a cast iron dripping pan from circa 1900, used for frying fish to collect fish oils in the cooking process, and used for dipping bread. Commonly used to feed children during hard times. Very elaborately made considering its function. What is this? Some kind of looks like a very blunt spike with a metal bit on top. It's a dark wooden spike or parsnip-shaped thing with a very rounded end. The other end had a metal piece that you could push back and forth. It's about 5 inches long, and the only markings are the words, patented June 14th, 1881. Any ideas? Based on the date of patenting and the fact that only 634 patents were issued on June 14th, 1881, this appears to be a combined stereoscope and graphoscope handle replacement. It was invented by William H. Lewis of Brooklyn, New York. The handle needed a hinge for when you set it onto the table instead of holding it up to your eyes. What is this steel metal pot with air holes and a handle? Bought in England on the southeast coastline. Around 6 inches tall, 24 inches in circumference, and lead welded. There are no identifying marks except the number 3 at the bottom. Any idea what it is made for? It's an aerated minnow bucket for carrying minnows and the like. Made of galvanized steel, it came in 2 sizes, 8 and 10 quarts from the 1920s through the early 1930s. Today, one in very good condition would cost $100 to $150 US. My mother-in-law is moving to an elderly home now, and while cleaning the house we found this, that nobody knows what it is for. My father-in-law passed 14 years ago, so we cannot ask. I checked Google and nothing on Laplace other than Versailles. Please help. It's a 1960s cement film splicer, a device used to join films together by using a chemical called film cement, which is made of film base dissolved in a solvent. The photographic emulsion is removed from the area to be joined, and the base of the other end is brought into contact with it. What is this white ceramic napkin-like thing with a loop to hang it from the ceiling in a main cabin? We have been wondering about it for ages. This has been hanging in a cabin my family friends rent out for 20 or more years, and the owners of the cabin also have no idea what it is, just that it's been there as long as they can remember, around 10 inches in diameter. I have searched multiple variations of ceramic hanging decorative dishes and plates, but really no great way to describe this. Any help idea or clue is appreciated. It's an antique milk glass smoke bell, probably from the 1880s to the 1890s. It was used to catch soot from a kerosene lamp to keep it from accumulating on the ceiling. There would have been an old oil lamp attached to the wall below it. My mother collected bells of all types, including a few of these. What is this strange metal thing embedded in the ground, found in the UK, and found near a public cricket field which is near Army Barracks? I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I kicked it, and it was firmly on the ground. It's in a public space, so I don't think it'd be dangerous. I was thinking of some kind of ground anchor, maybe something to do with army equipment. It also seems to have letters in between the 2 legs. Any ideas? It's a cast iron bracket for the legs that hold a tennis net, dating to the Edwardian period, circa 1910. These are rare, and they were originally painted green. I can't normally identify things, but I've got a thing for antique cast iron. What is this metal ball with a side slot and chain that screws into the ball? It was found at a psych asylum that was abandoned roughly 40 years ago. The asylum also had a lot of land to attend to, so it could be related to grounds maintenance. The metal ball is roughly 8 pounds and 3 inches in diameter. Any idea what it is for? It's an antique cast iron gate closer weight. The slot is where a chain or ring can be slid in and then secured in place with the threaded eye bolt. Here's what it would look like on a gate. You don't see this kind of gate closer anymore because the chain will tend to mar the gate itself. A spring closer is lighter and cheaper. This was found in my grandparents' home, and we don't really know what it is. The long metal thing has a flattened end and looks kinda like a straw. Any idea what this is? It's a mate gourd and bombilla. A bombilla is a type of drinking straw used to drink mate. The lower end is perforated and acts as a metal filter, which is used to separate the infusion from leaves, stems, and other debris, and functions in a similar fashion to the perforated metal screen of a teapot. What is this metal snake I found while metal detecting in England? Could anyone help me identify what it is and how old it is? A badly dented sixpence for scale. Any help would be great, thanks. It's a military snake buckle. The initial design date of this snake clasp is uncertain, but this serpentine form may have existed as far back as medieval times. With the majority of information imparted by history experts, the general consensus is that snake buckles were worn on sword belts by soldiers from former British colonies and being adopted in Australia, America, Canada, New Zealand, India, and Hong Kong. For example, snake clasps were worn by the Naval Brigade in 1871 on their original pattern waistbelt and used on the post-1901 Royal Horse Artillery officers' field rank uniform. The Oliver pattern was popular amongst members of the Canadian troops during the Boer War and also during the American Civil War. Snake clasps were also worn by the Hong Kong police, members of the Belgian Fire Brigade, as well as by British and Australian soldiers in World War I. What is this Merry Widow's tin found while metal detecting in Massachusetts yesterday? It was found under a tree at my in-laws' old mining house that dates back from the late 19th century. Approximately 1 5/8 inches in diameter and 5/8 inch thick. I tried to search on Google, but I cannot find the history of this company. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.